How are you doing? Welcome to the Unleashed Alchemy show. I am Tamara Tamu, coming to you with another impromptu live. Okay, even see, this is why I don't schedule lives because even though this was not, I just decided to do this live about 10 minutes ago and I set it for 8 o'clock, I still wasn't on time. Okay, it's just something about schedules that I just don't do anymore unless it's a flight, unless it's, a meeting or something. It just schedules, I don't like them. So anyway, impromptu. I planned to do this video and I started to do a recording, but I thought, no, let me just do this one live. Okay. So I'm going to start talking. No one is here yet, but I'm going to get started. So if you've watched the last two episodes, I've been talking, or the last episode, most recent episode, I've been talking about spirituality and the connection with money, and that having money, having an overflow of money, having more than enough to live a harmonious life on this physical plane is a spiritual experience. And programming of all kind, especially, particularly, specifically religious programming, has attempted to separate the two. So we're going to talk about that in this live, okay? So I'm also going to be referencing a few things from my new book that I've written about this, and there will be a part two. But I've written a book. It's called Tales of a Money Maven: How Religious and Other Programming Has Effed Up Your Money. And it is now available on Amazon as a paperback. It is a blend of me telling my story, breaking away from religious programming, and realizing how much of that affected how I viewed money, getting money, what I believed that I was worth as far as having money. And so it is available to you. Also, in the at the back of the book there are over, I think, 60, I know it's 50 plus questions that I share with you that I asked myself to rewire my subconscious so that I could begin to experience money in the way that I was meant to. So that book is available for you, and so I will be sharing a few excerpts from that book. Also, I am offering you, I believe there are 15 of those questions that I've pulled from the book, and I am sharing that with you as a complimentary, as a gift to you. So the link to do that, to receive 15 of those questions so that you can just work through those questions and just really take time and invest the time to get honest about your how you view money and how your view and perspective of money, how that has manifested in your life. Spirituality and money go together. They are not separate. All right? So I see two of you here. Hey. So, what is one way that religious programming has negatively influenced your money? So, let me give you a little story. So, when I was growing up in the Christian cult that I was in, we went to two different churches. The same experience. The second one, I would say, was the worst. It just, same foundation, but it was just elevated, more manipulative, and much more sinister as far as my experience is concerned. Okay. So anyway, we spent so much time. And when I say spent, I mean spent. Spent our energy, our life force energy inside of the four walls of those both of those churches, okay? So, if you can relate, please put a 1 in the chat with what I'm getting ready to say. So, on Sunday, there were two services. Why? I don't know. I never got an answer as to why there were two services on Sunday. I don't know. I don't know if that meant one more pass into heaven. I don't know. Then You had weekly during the week services where there were Tuesday, Tuesday night service at 7 o'clock, Wednesday night service at 7 o'clock. If there was something special going on at the church, there was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sometimes there was even Saturday if there was some type of practice, some type of event that was happening. All my point in saying that is there was some type of schedule to be inside of the four walls of the churches every single week. So growing up, you know, I knew what to expect as far as my schedule was concerned. And there was no break, like how the kids have summertime break. No, there was no break. There was no break at all. And even sometimes during the week, my family and I would be at the church, get there at 7 p.m. Sometimes we would not leave until after 11 p.m. That is life giving us, giving our life force energy. I didn't realize that, of course, that's what that was at the time as a child, because you're just following along what the adults give you. But it took me all this time to realize that that's what that was. So, as a child, I watched people, just hurl themselves into that rigorous church schedule to possibly get better seats in heaven. I don't know. And it fulfilled, this is the important part. What it was doing is that it was fulfilling an outside validation. It was that people were searching for. So they were told, well, if you do this, if you follow this schedule, then you will get something. You will get some blessing. You will get some validation. You will get some love from something out there up in the sky somewhere. And it was also attached, following that rigorous schedule, it was attached to an outside self-worth. It was attached to something outside of yourself saying, hey, you did this, so now you get this. You spent your life force energy, so now hopefully you'll get this that will fulfill you. Okay? Well, we're going somewhere with this, so stay with me. So, like I said, years and years would go by though before I realized how that story played into my identity and into my experiences in all parts of my life. But we're not talking about all parts. In this video, we're going to stick with how those experiences influenced my money experience. All right. So, what happened? Well, as an adult, even when I left church, even when I broke away from religious programming and I started to focus on the spirit within, and I started to focus on the cosmic energy, the infinite intelligence within. Hey, Brooke, thank you for being here. I started to focus on that. And Allah, hi, I think you're trying to say hi. I hope I said your name right. Thank you guys for being here. So I carry that story that I had to show up at a specific time, at a specific hour, on a specific day, in order to attain something of benefit, that I had to give away my life force. What is our life force? Energy, our time, to show that I was worthy to receive something beneficial. Allah, what are you talking about? Look at the description, look at the title, okay? And I would actually advise you to start from the beginning because we've been on for almost 10 minutes now. All right, so start from the beginning because I'm going to keep going. So, what I realized was going to church was a job. All right? Going to church was a job. So this carried over into my ego's hyper focus on only getting a job for money. Okay. And what it did was it developed a lack of trust for myself, a lack of confidence, and a lack of confidence in myself to do what my heart was telling me to do. And what my heart was telling me to do was to build an empire for myself, to build an empire in which money could flow through. Okay? So, what I did was, oops, I got two things going on here. So, what I did was growing up, I took the easy way. Now, when you're listening to this is not me telling you to not have a job or to, yeah, it's not. If working a job, if that is secure to you, if you enjoy that, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually not telling you what to do as far as how to get money, but what I'm presenting to you is another way and another perspective. Hold on just a second. Um, okay. Hold on, you guys. I'm getting distracted. All right. So I had to put somebody in timeout because their messages were distracting to me. So anyway, so what I what I realized is that me not following through with what my heart was telling me to do, it caused a lot of turmoil within my body. And so my nervous system adopted an identity that my soul was like, girl, what are you doing? This is not what we planned. So what was my soul telling me? What was not planned? Well, I lived a life of always just getting a job because I felt like that was the thing to do to show that I was worthy of whatever. I spent a lot of my life force, my life energy, working jobs that I absolutely did not like, that I absolutely hated, 2 and 3 jobs at a time for most of my life because I could not fathom that there was another way to build wealth and get money unless I had this outside validation, which meant I had to trade my life force energy to get something. Now, you may be saying, well, to build a business, don't you use your life force energy? In a sense, yes. However, if that business is something that your soul is calling you toward, number one, it's not going to feel like work. It's not going to be a force. You're not going to feel like it's a chore. It is going to be something that you love and something that your heart is telling you that this is the path for you. Okay? So that's the difference. So, what I want to share with you is this. Now, this part that I'm going to share with you is a part of my book. Again, it's brand new on Amazon. It is paperback, and it is a mix between a story and a workbook that will it and when you go through it, okay, when you go, especially when you go through the questions in the back, it's set up so that you have plenty of space to actually write in the book. It's designed not so that you judge your money experience, it's to observe, elevate, and alchemize. If you've been here for a while, you know that is some of the phrases or the words that I use. you observe, you elevate, you alchemize, because we are alchemists, okay? So here's what I want to talk about from the book. So when we talk about giving our force energy away to a job, number one, we were not designed to, I want think about this. When you're working a job, all right, because you think, because we've been programmed to think that that's the only way for us to get money, that working more hours, that trading more of our time for money is the only way for us to get money, is the way to get money. We have all been programmed to think that, whether it is through religious programming, because just like I explained, going to church was a job. I mean, and even with the job, at least I could say I was getting a check from it. We should have been paid for going to church as much as we did. Okay, so we were not designed to give our life force away. And so in this world that we live in, when you work a job, this is what we, if you break it down like this is what we have agreed to. So we work 40 hours a week. That is 160 hours a month. That is equivalent to 2,080 hours a year. Now, we're just talking about just the typical 40 hours that we learned, not just from going to church a lot, if that was your experience, but also through the education system. So, 2,080 hours a year. In a general calendar year that we use as humans to measure time, there are a total of 8,736 hours allotted to our lives, just within a calendar year, 365 days. So with that 2,080 hours a year of forced trading time for money, when you calculate that to percentage, that is nearly 25% of your life every year doing something you don't like, because you've been programmed to believe that you have to work a job to get, have, and keep money. And we wonder why people are angry, sick, and agitated, resentful, bitter, full of rage on the road and elsewhere. Also, let me add that 25% of that time, someone is also telling you when to take a break, when you can take a vacation, when you need a vacation, when you have to work more than the 40 hours a week, without even asking if you're available or even if you want to. So that I broke that down. I break that down for you now, and I break that down in the book because the way that we have been programmed to view how we get money, that has hijacked our spiritual growth. Does that even sound natural? No, it does not. It does not. So we have a society where people's souls and creative energy get hijacked because people are expected to work hard on a job first. Doesn't matter whether you enjoy it. And then after you work that job or jobs for so many years, only then can you do what you want to do, be who you want to be, and have what you want to have. If we just break that down for one day, after 8 hours of work, regardless of the nature of the work, That's why it's difficult for people to leave that job and then go work on a side hustle. That takes a lot because all of your energy has been given, all your life force energy has been given away to something that you've been told, well, this is the only way. And now you may be saying, well, what about the people that don't want their own business or they actually enjoy their job? Well, that's fine. But if you were to line up, so there are on this channel, how many subscribers? If I include myself, there's 173 people, including me, 173 magicians, alchemists, spiritualists, okay, magicians. If you line all of us up, and if I were to ask the question, well, how many of you want freedom? I'm going to venture out to say that 95% of those people, of us, most of us would raise our hand. We want freedom. If you were to ask, how many of you would love to just be able to just get up and you decide what you want to do with your time, how you want to use and give your life energy? You decide. You would raise your hand. Another question we could ask was, how many of you would love to be able to go on vacation whenever you want to go on vacation because you own your time? You're not trading time for money. How many of us would raise our hands? I'd raise both my hands. How many of you would say, how many of you, if we ask the question, how many of you would want more time to really focus on your spirituality? Perhaps spend more time in meditation. Perhaps grow your intuition even more. Many of us would raise our hand and say yes. So, this is how our time, our life force energy gets hijacked because of the programming of how we think we have to be in the world and have money. Okay? So, I wanted to share that with you. Also, I want to remind you that if you would like to get your hands on the complimentary PDF that I've created for you, I've extracted 15 of the questions that are in the back of my newest book. I'll leave the link is in the description box of this live video. The My newest book is called Tales of a Money Maven. It is a paperback that is on Amazon, available right now if you want the entire book. But we have to begin to experience money in the way that we were designed to, as expansive cosmic beings. All right. Also, don't forget that there are several ways that you can work with me: one-on-one, 60-minute sessions, and I also have a 90-day spiritual Odyssey package where you work with me for 90 days. Also, the magic school is always open, okay, for enrollment. There are powerful downloaded channeled workshops that I provide for you that are that is support for you on your spiritual odyssey. So I want to thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this live. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And until next time, cheers.